Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Great Picture here, DGP, back again with another episode of Patriot Keys. And yes, I am back again. I'm told you I'm recording these videos back to back to back. I probably got another video right after this, but without further ado, again, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. And in the last video, I talked about my top 10 players. So it was a quick review. Might be a little bit longer than a quick review on my top players last year. But this year, years past, I do top 10. This year, I'm going to do a top 5. So without further ado, let's get into it again. Like, subscribe, comment, check the links down below. Subscribe to the Fade Podcast. And let's get into it. So my honorable mention, and the reason why one of the reasons why he's an honorable mention is because we don't know his status for this year. You know, he's still technically suspended. We got him last year. And if you're a Patriot fan or an NFL fan, you should know who I'm talking about. But if you don't, live it on the rock. Talking about the one and only Josh Gordon. Now, he got to get him reinstated this year. That's the big thing. He's on a one-year deal right now. We signed him to a tender. He will be an unrestricted free agent next year. And, you know, it's been a picture I'm going to actually show it on the screen. It's been pictures showing that he looks like he's gained about maybe 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. Probably about 5 to 10. I think 10 pounds of muscle. He's looking ripped. I mean, he's still trying to get in the gym, trying to get in shape. Trying to get back to the NFL career, but as I always said, hopefully he's good off the field, and that's pretty much what's derailed him his whole career, especially in Cleveland, even going back to his college days, just his off the field addiction. Hopefully, and I'm hoping that he beats it and everything. Hopefully he gets the help that he can need. But let's talk about the on the field stuff. He had a PFF grade of 74. It was a 74.4. That ranked 35th among wide receivers. But looking at his stats last year, 40 receptions, 700 yards, and about 4 touchdowns. And keep in mind, about 2-3 weeks, he really he wasn't used to the scheme. Like, if you look at it last year, most of that stuff is just off of his God-given ability, his athleticism. Brady was able to give him the ball, give him targets. And again, it seemed like after that first month or whatever, like he was getting 8-10 targets a game. Like, bro, we desperately needed a wide receiver, and he was that void, but as you know, he got suspended. About 73% of his catches ended up in a first down or a touchdown, meaning every time he caught the ball, he was getting, moving and change, or he scored a touchdown. Excuse me. And so, yeah, he did a pretty great job with that, and he was just that big receiver that we needed, and with no Gronk, hopefully he gets reinstated, him and the Kill Harry, and Julian Edelman in the slot. We'll see how that all pans out. At number 5, we have Obi Melifonwu. Yes, he picked him up. I think it was last year. Still on a league minimum, 1-year deal. Didn't really play much. He got drafted by Oakland, I believe, in the second, third round. He's like that safety linebacker hybrid, similar to like a Deion Buchanan. And people looking at him, is he a draft bust? Again, we don't really. Didn't really cost us anything. He was inactive for most of the season last year. He's potentially could be cut in preseason. We'll see if he makes the roster. But he's kind of brought in to bring to defend, the bigger wide receivers and most of these tight ends. So we'll see how that works out. Again, I expect good things from him. And yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say on him. His skill set can be used, and we'll see if he actually gets active this year. Like I said, last year we got him. I think I'm going to play 1 or 2 games, but we'll see if he's actually going to be active this year. At number 4, this kind of is a group thing. Last year I did a running back core group because it was a couple people I wanted to watch this year. Number 4, Ben Watson and the tight end group. Now, Watson suspended. I think for the first 4 games, PD violations. Replacing Gronk is the main thing I'm focused on, replacing him in the run game, because that's a really underrated thing that people didn't realize about Gronk. He was a great run blocker. So we'll see how that all works out, man. It was talks that we might get Kyle Rudolph. We never got a trade for him. So we got a lot of guys. We don't have Jacob Hollister. All the tight ends on this roster, if I'm not mistaken, did not play at all for the Patriots last year. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see. So it's pretty much it for that group right there. At number 3, Deatrich Wise is a guy who I'm keeping my eye on. Last year, 4.5 sacks, had 16 quarterback hits. He's going to have to step up and replace Trey Flowers, who last year had 7.5 sacks and 20 QB hits. Now, Deatrich Wise didn't get the PT as a Trey Flowers, so for him to have 4.5 sacks, 16 QB hits, I expect him to have equal or more than Trey Flowers' production when he gets the PT, because now he's going to be kind of like the lead edge rusher with Derek Rivers always in and out, who I don't know if he's going to make the roster or not. But we'll see that. He always makes splash plays. He's also going to share time with Michael Bennett as well, so don't forget about Michael Bennett. So let's see with him and Bennett, maybe that can work out. But I'm looking at Deatrich Wise and seeing if he's going to take that, next step. Because remember, when Trey Flowers was coming up, I believe we had Chandler Jones, if I'm not mistaken. But when Trey Flowers was coming up, we had like him and Chris Long. That was kind of like a group, a tandem that Chris Long kind of taught Trey Flowers a little bit. And so maybe we can have that with Deatrich Wise and Michael Bennett. So we'll see on that. At number 2, this guy, besides Patriot fans, I don't think anybody really paid attention to this guy, but this guy was real great towards the end of the season last year. And I'll talk about the one and only J.C. Jackson. Yes, one of the top rookie cornerbacks last year. He had the lowest passer rating when he was thrown to him. He only started 5 regular season games last year. Great ball skills, great hands, great awareness. And again, he didn't play the first part of the season, but it's like towards the second part, he got more PT, starting, and it seemed like that Belichick was happy and was, good with him, McCourty, and Gilmore as our starting cornerback. So I think, we found that Malcolm Butler replacement. And again, J.C. Jackson, kid out of Maryland, was an undrafted rookie. And so it just seems like Belichick always finds an undrafted rookie corner that can have a great season, fall great in the system, great in the scheme of things. And I think that's J.C. Jackson. So J.C. Jackson is a guy that I want everybody to keep their name on, keep their eye on. And actually, if you look at the new layout, underneath it on the right side of your screen, that's J.C. Jackson. So remember, number 27, J.C. Jackson. For non-Patriot fans, that's a guy I'm looking out for. Number 1, it's kind of, it could be obvious, but number 1, I'm looking at Isaiah Wynn, former first-round pick that we took last year. He's coming off his torn Achilles injury. He's going to replace Trent Brown. We signed Jared Velda here, who retired, so now we don't have the depth right there that we thought we was going to have at tackle. Could this be, good for us? Again, he has to help extend Brady's career, because as the left tackle, that's your main job: protect the quarterback, protect his blind side. And we'll see what, Isaiah Wynn does. He had a great projection going in. They said he could potentially be guard because of his sizing and everything. He has like little small wingspan, little small hands and stuff. Not the biggest tackle, but hey, we'll see how it's all going to work out. So Isaiah Wynn, my number 1 guy that I'm looking out for, mainly just because he was our first-round pick last year and he didn't play. So I didn't want to put N'Keal Harry there because, again, he's a first-round pick. Of course, you want to keep your eyes on him. And he probably will be in a top 10. But, looking at the grand scheme of things, my honorable mention goes Josh Gordon, then Obi Melifonwu, the tight end group, I'm just going to say that, Deatrich Wise, J.C. Jackson, and Isaiah Wynn. Those are my 6 guys that I'm looking out for this season. So let me know your top 5. And again, what I might do is I think every game I might just have a video during the week and stuff explaining what I think they did that week, and so we can keep a track and keep a tally of their grades. So without further ado, man, again, like, subscribe, comment, all the great stuff, all the Patriot news, all the everything coming your way. Training camp is in 2 days from this recording, so maybe you'll see it before training camp or when training camp starts. But man, I'm telling y'all, can't wait for this. So that'll be it. Like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. Catch you next time, y'all. Peace.